How's it going, guys? James here from Butler Farms on a cloudy Sunday Easter afternoon down here at the garden, just kind of checking things out. My plans for this weekend were to bring you a garden update video, and I've been out cutting grass and doing things out in the yard all weekend, and as I hadn't been in the garden much, or even around it much, but I didn't really see anything to show, so I'd made up my mind that I wasn't going to do an update video. But this morning, as I was leaving early for church, to go to church with my parents, so we had to do a little bit of traveling. The sun was hitting down here just right, and I could see these little green rows popped up everywhere. So you know, I came down here after we've gotten back and spent the time with the family and things like that, and guys, we got some plants up. I can't believe it. It's been so incredibly dry. As you can see here, I mean, it is just powder dry. You know, in one of my several of my videos before, I was talking about how I was always running from a storm. Seems like every weekend we were running from storms and trying to get things done between storms. And for the last week and a half, 2 weeks, I guess, it's been just the opposite. Man, we have been so dry. And so, as you saw in the video not long ago, I guess it was about a week ago, maybe a little bit longer, that I had put all the seed in the ground, and man, I was getting kind of frustrated, getting kind of impatient. We do have some rain coming this week. As a matter of fact, there's a good chance, about 30% or higher for the next, just about the next solid week. Tomorrow may be our best chance. It's up around 60%. Man, I pray we get it, because it's been, like I said, you can tell out here how dry it is. You know, I shouldn't be kicking up dust walking through the garden this time of year, but I do want to show you, this is a garden update, because believe it or not, you know, the Lord works in mysterious ways, and it's just a miracle, because this ground was had a little bit of moisture in it when I planted, very little. And you know, the seeds that you plant are extremely dry. The one I did soak the okra seeds before I planted them for about 24 hours, but everything else was put in the ground dry, and it has stayed dry this entire time. And believe it or not, it has come up. So let me turn you around here and let you see what's going on. I know it may be harder to see on video than it is for me here. You can see down through there, I'm on the bottom end of the garden. You can see my row going down through there, and there's another little row going there, and then there's one right here beside me all the way down. These are our pink Mississippi pink eye purple hulls, and there's 4 rows of them in here. There's the other little row right there coming down through here, and so far we've got a pretty good stand, to be honest with you. Pretty thick. You can see some places like right in here where it has failed to come up, but if you look closer, you can see right here there's one of the peas that has popped up, and it's coming. You know, it's a miracle, really, when you think about it. You know, some of these bare places that we've got right here, if you look a little bit closer, there's the seed coming out of the ground. So if we can get this rain, it is really going to start jumping then. I mean, you can see we've got quite a stand already, and like I said, I can tell you when that rain comes through here, it's really going to start jumping up. Now up here, these are the beans, and you can see they're starting to pop out of the ground too. And once you get close, you can see them. Like I said, the light just hit the garden just right this morning, and you can see going down through there they are. And even up here where it's really dry, the top end of the garden is extremely dry. And so you can see, let me back you back out here a little bit. These are spaced a little bit further apart, not because I planted them further apart, but because I mean, you can see how close that they're supposed to be. But there's pretty good gaps in there, but it's popping through. Just everywhere you look, you think you got these big gaps, and you know, here's another big gap here, except there it is. And even up here at the top where it's extremely dry, this top end of the garden has always been an issue. This bottom end, you can see where the water comes down through here, and so as it comes across, it'll settle down here in the bottom, so it's always got good moisture usually if we get any kind of rain. This up here at the top, not so much. But as I'm walking along, I hope you can see that you know, we've got them popping up pretty much everywhere. And then if you look even closer, you can see this one obviously, but if you look right here, there's another one popping out. So I'm as thrilled as I can be, because I've been pretty frustrated. Most people that know me know that I can get kind of impatient at times, but gardening and this kind of work is it takes patience a lot of times. And the rain's coming. You know, how much we'll get, they've already kind of moved the chances down, I guess you would say, a little bit, but at the same time it's still a really good chance for tomorrow afternoon. And the thing about this garden is, right down there in the bottom there is a water spigot. It runs all the way from up the hill. You can see the little pump house sitting right there, okay? And everything up here used to be on a pump. There's the little pump house right there, and there was a line that ran all the way down to right there beside that trash pile, and then it went on up that hill right over there to another residence that was there. So there was a pump there in that little pump house right there, and then it ran that house, and then there was another pump. Let me get back out of here. You don't want to see me that close, I know. Where our house sits, there obviously was an old house there, and there was a pump there as well. And now we don't have any pumps up here. I would love to be able to get another well up here. We're all on city water now, more out of necessity than anything. At one time there was three wells up here, one across the hill, one up here that fed down here to the garden, and then across, and then one at this old house where we've built. And all three of those went bone dry over time. Just picked up sand. We adjusted the pumps. We did everything. We had people that do that for a living that would come out here and adjust them, and it wouldn't fill back up enough to sustain us. So we had to cut loose from that and go to city water. And you know, that's not that big a deal, other than I would like to be more self-sufficient and have the water come from here. Now there are some places up here where I could put a well that would be sufficient to at least run the stuff outside, and maybe one day I'll be able to do that, but right now the cost is just so prohibitive with that. So what I'm having to do is I'm having to carry water by a 5-gallon bucket from up there down here, and that's a lot further than what you think it is. And carrying 2 5-gallon buckets at a time up and down that hill is getting kind of old. But the reason I did it is because we have been so dry. I was trying to get some of my other stuff to pop up. I really wasn't expecting the peas and stuff yet, but here's some of my winter squash. Now what's weird is the winter squash seem to be popping up a little bit. There's 3 to 4 seeds in this hill. There's one that's already popped up right there. I expect more to come. Some of these hills don't have anything in them. I've just gotten through pouring the water to them because I can't be for sure with me working full time away from here. I can't be sure that we're going to get that rain, so I went ahead and brought some down. You can see 2 have already popped up here, and so there's another one right over here somewhere. Back here we've got one. You can see 2 in the top of that one. So, but these are the winter squash, which is kind of weird. Nothing has popped up in the summer squash yet. I don't really know why that is. I don't really have an explanation for it, to be honest with you, but it is what it is. I expect once we get a good rain, guys, it doesn't matter how much water I bring down here. I leave my water sitting out overnight to let the chlorine and some of the other things like that are in it dissipate out of it. So I'm real conscious about that kind of thing. But you know, even then, there's no possible way that I can do what a good rain shower that God provides does. It's not even close. And you know, even if I had water access down here and could water it every day, would it help? Yeah, but is it ever going to do what rain can do? Absolutely not. Now up here at the top is where I planted my cucumbers, and you can see that I've watered down through here. Now they're not doing much. This is the extremely dry side of the garden, this upper side. So again, I'm not really expecting much until we get some rain. I put them up here because of that fence right there. I'm going to train them to go up that fence and to get them out of the garden and give them something to grow on. I think I did find one that had already popped out down through here. Yeah, there it is. One that's already popped out. But again, that was cheap, big box store seed, and it was several years old. So I mean, I planted it pretty heavy because I didn't expect much out of it to begin with. But we'll see after this week of rain. If we can get some good rain this week and nothing pops up out of the ground, then I've got some other cucumbers that I can stick in there and jump start them and get them up. Now, one thing that I am kind of surprised about, this line that I have watered down through here. Now some of this is just little grass coming up, but there's some of that heavy hitter okra that's popped up. Not all of them, just every once in a while you see them. And there's another one, there's one. So it's coming. Like I said, it's one of those things that okra's kind of hard sometimes anyway. You know, you got to soak your seeds preferably about 24 hours before you put them in the ground, just to soften that casing up around the outside. So just from here I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 right there. And guys, if all 7 of those survive, and I expect more to come as the rain comes, I expect more to pop out of there. But if I have 5 of those heavy hitter okra plants, it'll be more okra than I can eat, give away, do anything with, I can promise you. But here's some more of these winter squash. This is the Seminole pumpkins, just like that one up there. But as you see, that hill up there only has 1. That has none, but this one down here, closer to the bottom end of the garden where it stays a little bit more moist, has 2. And here's the Gerundale, I guess is how you say it. I don't really know. So they're coming. I'm encouraged by that. It's like I said, as dry as it's been, I have been bringing water down here about every other day, trying to get these seeds to jump. Not on my peas and beans, obviously, that's way too much, but on my squash hills and stuff like that, I've been bringing water every day, every other day. And you know, they're coming, and if we can get this rain this week, the next garden update ought to be a good one. My peppers and tomatoes right down here below me are doing fine. They're still kind of in that early semi-shock stage. As you know, this past couple of weeks we've been getting up in the 80s, mid 80s even, you know, 85, 86 degrees, but at night it was dipping back down. So I think that got them stunted a little bit. They're kind of in that shock stage, but I can already tell there's growth in them. So again, with this rain coming through, they ought to really start jumping. So anyway, again, I didn't think I was going to get to do a garden update video because I didn't think there was anything to update. But I know the camera doesn't do it justice, but just from where I'm standing right here, I can see those green rows turning that corner in the garden. Man, that feels good. It looks good. And can't wait to see what the next week to 10 days brings, because we're supposed to be hot. We're supposed to be wet. And you know, with that rain coming and then the heat behind these heat-loving seeds, man, I think they ought to come on in. So we'll see. All right, guys, I'm gonna leave it right there and go do other things. I'm working on a little project that I'm gonna bring you up to speed on here in a little while. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Tell a friend. Hit that thumbs up button. That helps us more than you know. And again, happy Easter. God bless. We love you. This is James from Butler Farms, and we'll be seeing you.